What's up, everybody? Alright, at the end of Act 2, I was thinking that, Zebenkek and the Evil Tomes, and then the Gauntlet with the Golem Merchant up there in Sundermount were some pretty tough trials. Kind of some of the harder fights in the game. But I always forget about these Awergian Scrolls that we find kind of scattered around Kirkwall. There's 3 of them. I think they're called Aspects or something. But anyway, they lead to a final demon boss. I guess Act 3's version of that. First we have this thing involving Feynriel. We'll deal with, but then we'll go find one of those scrolls here in a second.
Will you take me to him?
I come at your father's request. You expected someone else?
Feynriel, the man of my dreams. These brutes intended to take my maidenhood. As they argued about who would go first, I fainted. Then Feynriel spoke to me in a vision and told me not to fear. When I awoke, the men had slain one another. Please take me to Feynriel. I want to thank him properly.
I'm sorry, but I have no way to locate him.
Hey, what did you do to my man?
Okay, well, if Feynriel's going to use his magic to take rapists out, then I'm down with that, because that's definitely serving man, not ruling over them. You know what I mean? Okay, so, like, that's totally cool, but if Feynriel is seducing virgins in their sleep, well, shit, you can't knock him, I guess. Because we got the power to do it. I don't know. And maybe this is his girlfriend. Maybe this is his true love that he found in her dreams, and I don't know, maybe that's a good way to get to know somebody. Somebody's true self is meet them in their dreams and romance them there.
It seems I must
I
wait
don't
a
know.
bit longer for my love. Oh, thank you for your aid. I will find my way back to Kirkwall. The walk will tire me, and we'll be reunited in my dreams. Feynriel, my love, I'm coming.
Okay, now I don't know if there's mind control magic going on here. That would indicate blood magic. I don't know, or else she's just totally wooed by Feynriel. I would give Feynriel the benefit of the doubt that he's just a young guy and found a hot young number in her dreams, and they hit it off, and he protected her, How he turned the rapists on each other to kill each other, though, even in a waking state, also kind of smacks of mind control, and so, I wonder if that's all going to come back to bite us later on. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I don't know. But that's what it sounds like. That's what it hints at. To control somebody in a waking state, to actually cause them to turn on one another. And considering the only people he could really go to study and learn to discipline this particular skill would be in Tevinter, and that obviously rings a negative bell. Not to discriminate the Tevinters, but they're still really down with slavery and blood magic, okay? Regardless of what they call it. It's socially acceptable / unacceptable type of thing, and so, that he would be introduced to that and possibly be led that way and find some way to, in his own mind, justify blood magic. I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, it's a danger, but, I don't know. At least he's a good kid. Good kid with magic. I hope he doesn't go bad. Let's just put it that way. But he did a good thing here, getting some rapists to kill one another. So if there is any, even if it was blood magic, if there is anything good about blood magic, when you can get murderers and rapists to kill each other, you're doing a good thing. Sorry. Maybe some demon profits somehow by the death of these people or whatever, but it's the right people dying. I know that. Alright, so notice Petrify and Assassinate goes really good together. Right there. Now these must be just roving bands of leftover Talvashoth who couldn't return with the Qunari because they're not essentially Qunari anymore. But there's really no place for them here. We may have a free, open society for you to pursue liberty, life, and happiness and whatever, but not so much for the Qunari. I don't think many local bakers are going to hire a Qunari to work their counter, or else people are going to stop coming in to buy sweet rolls. That's just the way it is. However discriminatory, prejudiced, racist that might be, bottom line is you don't take your children into the local bakery or candy shop where there's a Qunari by the counter who might just decide to kill you and your family. Because up to this point, when Qunari show up, they kill you and your family. Okay, you can call it what you want, but the bottom line is self-preservation means to be careful about those people who tend to do you harm. All right? And when you drop your guard, you will die. Okay, so lesson learned. And it's only the liberals sitting over there that have never been threatened that would sit there and raise their social justice warrior cries and say, but they all have rights, they all need to be they all need to be understood, and blah blah blah. Okay, well the bottom line is when they show up, people die. Right? If there's an exception, I'll tell you what, I'll take a chance on potentially offending the exception, right? In light of keeping myself safe from the rule, which is that when Qunari show up, people die. Their whole Qun orders them to destroy anyone who's not submitted to the Qun, essentially. That the Qun, from what I gather, the Qun basically states that the world will be under the Qun. That it's demanded, it's just a matter of time for it to be realized. In other words, that truth is already in place in their minds. It's just the world hasn't conformed to that truth yet. And so that which won't conform needs to be molded, altered, or killed, or destroyed. It's very much a communist agenda. You know, we know the BioWare writers have taken the sprinkling of lots of real-world truths and principles and dynamics and incorporated them into their writing here, everything from religion to politics to you name it. So I wouldn't be surprised to find some sort of communist agenda, and you see how, you know, it's one thing to say, well, I don't really like that, but then when you realize the communists don't really care whether you like it or not. You'll either learn to be that, whether you like it or not, that it's not a matter of personal preference, but it's all for the greater good as long as it's for someone else's good other than yourself, right? But you are to be used as a tool, as a specimen to bring in income, basically. Be part of the system, and the whole time you can justify it in your mind as you're part of some greater whole and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Of course, there is no personal freedom or pursuit of happiness or success or anything else. Everything falls into you just being a part of something and you have an assigned role. And I mean, there is a twisted logic to it that takes humanity out of the equation. And once you don't think about the fact that you might actually have things like love and passion and kindness and dreams and hopes and art and things like that, right? Once you take all that out of the picture and you leave the bland, empty slate that is life under the Qun, then it makes a certain sense. Once you factor in humanity, it makes no sense whatsoever. It's totally preposterous. People will buck that because they want to, they just want to live. They want to take the few years that they have on this earth and experience them rather than be part of a machine, a cog for someone else's profit. But anyway, that's politics. But hey, they introduced it here. So if it comes up as a hot topic, well, damn it, it wasn't by mistake. BioWare is noted for that. To incorporate the hottest topics of the day, the biggest controversies and you know, the biggest issues to deal with, and put them right there on the table and just let you smell it and look at it and even take a taste and dive in, and there you have it. That's where you get your debates and your arguments and this and that. Mages, Templars, Qunari and Tevinters, blood magic, not blood magic, blah, blah, blah. And it's just on and on and on. All right, so we found a scroll earlier here. I think there's a couple up in Sundermount. But anyway, I think there's like 3 or 4 of them. Anyway, you find these things, and they're kind of like the evil tomes. These you don't have to make a choice whether to destroy them or not or whatever. You just find them. And then nearby, there will be basically a boss-level version. I think this one right here is an Arcane Horror, if I remember right. Or something like that, but it's super boss levels. Okay, so this isn't... I'm not going to be one-shotting this thing with an Assassinate. This thing is going to have a health bar that stretches, like, across the screen, you know. And have some defenses to go with it. I think it summons, like, a horde of, what, corpses or shades or something? Yeah. Okay, lots of corpses, and then after he kills so many of them, he's going to pop up, and he will one-shot your party with his AoE stuff. If you're far away, he'll hit you with a ranged Spirit Blast. If you're in close, I think he hits you with an AoE, like a Cone of Cold type deal. It's like an aura of cold, something like that. Anyway, or vice versa, or he hits you with a nature, and then when you get close, he hits you with a Spirit Blast. Whatever. All I know is it one-shots you. That's all I really know. Now we are talking Nightmare here on lower difficulties. I imagine it wouldn't be quite so bad, but this guy's still something to be reckoned with. If these guys weren't bad enough, better hope that your tank is doing their job. But then you have this guy to contend with too, and mainly it's learning when he pops up, to keep an eye kind of down the road. Notice how I'm turning around and looking. As soon as I see him summon or spawn, then I'm going to go over there and just lay into his ass. And if you don't knock him down quick, everybody dies. Kind of just the way it is. I'm not sure. No, not yet. He'll be somewhere down there, though. Maybe it's 3 waves of corpses? Might be what we're dealing with here. Okay, I'm not exactly sure. It just knocked me on my ass. Taunt, maybe? Okay. My guy's down here doing just fine. I'm also dealing with this experiment here where everything I have is dedicated essentially to doing more critical damage. Like I say, the results were underwhelming. I'm not impressed. And here's another wave of these guys. But yeah, I don't see my overall criticals, basic attacks and stuff being really any higher, if much higher at all. Alright, and he's going to do his AoE thing here in a second if we're not... Oh, look at that. That fast. See, I can take no punishment whatsoever. Man, I'm probably going to bleed out here. Yeah, I'm probably going to bleed out. Nope. Yep. There we go. Fight was over. That's not fair. Gave me a free injury, but look at that. I have no health. Stamina hasn't really been an issue. I get it back as fast as I spend it for the most part. With the help of certain passives and stuff in my skill tree, but still, sometimes you just need to be able to take a hit. Sometimes. Anyway, all right, that's one of those guys down. Like I say, he's pretty nasty. I mean, you see the damage he's doing? Basically, 2 pulses of that kills you outright. At least my character. If I was playing a warrior, not quite so fast, but still, it'll do its share of damage. Up here, I think this mage merchant is still here in Act 3. I don't believe there's really any enemies centered up in this area. I think this is pretty much just a free ride here, but seems like he sells an awesome piece of armor for a mage. And oh, there's a Qunari sword. Okay, those are worth more XP than most of these little side quests each. I think I figured it out. They're about 1,200 XP each one. That adds up fast. Seriously. All right, so we got this guy. He's still here. That's cool. I don't think there's anything else to be done in this cave up here. I think we're pretty much done. This is a hot spot for little side quests in Acts 1 and 2, though.
Not every coin is valued by weight.
Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, that's beautiful. So if you're playing a mage character, this is definitely the go-to guy for you. In Act 2, he sells that cold staff, and it's probably a decent weapon, probably to carry you through the game, at least against, you know, enemies that are weak to cold, because it had a lot of side benefits to it. A lot of perks and buffs and stuff. That's what we just picked up off that arcane horror thing. That Awergian, whatever, anyway. Off that dude. Lots of junk. I have plenty of money. The warriors and mages are the expensive classes to play. Mages may be the most so. I don't know. Warriors are right up there too. Even if you're not equipping your party, you're going to have a hard time keeping up with all your tomes and then the few dream items that are available. It's really advisable to have like belts and rings and amulets, whatever, that make you immune. At least the class that I play. I like playing a Berserker Reaver. In fact, the class I'm playing right now is on my stream. Having immunity to stun, immunity to knockdown, immunity to knock back, immunity to critical hits. Those are almost must-haves. Okay, as far as staying alive, especially if you don't have a lot of passives in your skill tree going that protect you from that kind of stuff. Like Aveline has all that built into her skill tree. You can give her stuff that gives her health, stamina. Stamina is really good for her, so she can spam things like rally and taunt and stuff. And anything that maybe even gives her a little extra attack or damage is cool, you know. But things that help her draw aggro, things that help her keep her on her feet, and help keep the wind in her lungs, so to speak. Give her extra stamina. That's always a good thing with her. Everything else is built in. At least the way I build her, so. Each one, you can... I heard a complaint where, well, I can't equip my followers and this and that, blah, blah, blah. But still, you can be so in-depth and specific about what kind of equipment matches what. Like I say, Aveline gets a certain kind of stuff, and you go almost the opposite with a two-handed warrior that's centered on DPS, right? And then with your mages, like, the way I equip Anders and Meryl is almost opposite. Meryl is all about health and all about, you know, damage and stuff, and then Anders is all about extra mana and being able to keep up his spells, because even though he's a blood mage, whether he likes to admit it or not, you can see it in his skill tree, even though he's a blood mage, he has very little mastery of his ability to use his health pool for mana. So he does rely on a mana pool. He's just confused. It's his problem. But anyway, so everyone's built different, and equipment plays a huge part of that. But certain kind of equipment that centers on each kind of build. Notice right here, the horrible luck that I'm having with this particular experiment is going for pure DPS. I've got my DPS built into my build. These extra amulets and rings that I have equipped right now, all they're doing is just making me so squishy that I can't even take a hit. Damage hasn't really increased much, if at all. You know, I'm thinking, yeah, these few little extra numbers really just aren't adding up. They're certainly not making it worth it. You can't kill anybody if you're dead. That's my logic for the enemy, is they can't kill me if they're dead. Well, shit, I can't kill anybody else if I'm dead either. Right? So there's a certain thing to, you know, I'd rather do more damage than have more health, to a certain extent, but when it comes to the point is I can't survive anything, then I'm no good to anybody. Alright, so that's the cave where we dealt with Zevran and all that. Nothing else down here. I was kind of curious if they might spawn an extra mob of enemies right there at the door. Always looking for extra spawns. Sometimes the fights can be tough, but that's where the hidden XP comes in the game. Where you squeeze that extra level or two out of the game at the end, is picking up all the 100s here and 200s there as you go along. But, alright, so we're going to find, I think the rest of the scrolls up this mountain. Interesting that they're centered on this mountain, too. And then the main demon boss for this whole thing is in Darktown, of course. Underneath Darktown. Now, what the relationship between Sundermount and Darktown is, not exactly sure. But it's interesting that in the gauntlet part of here where you meet the golem... Okay, we got another one of these guys. Okay, I can't survive that for even half a second. Okay, I guess that's either cold or spirit, I'm not sure. But if we don't take him out of here, we're all dead. And that's really just the bottom line. You need to go here. The whole Pride Unbound thing, or whatever, these different skulls, not really sure exactly what's going on with that whole thing, but it's kind of reminiscent of the Unbound demon or whatever down in the Deep Roads, in the Orzammar part of Origins. I'm glad these aren't all lieutenant level shades. Imagine how nasty this would be. Anyway, good deal. Good XP. Getting this next one is honestly the nastiest of all of them. Probably this next one is actually nastier than the boss itself. Honestly, in my opinion, because it's twin boss revenants, not lieutenant revenants, but boss revenants, twin boss revenants, and their minions, and it's just I can't say enough. And like I say, it made it even harder now as this failed experiment that I did with my gear, messing around with my character. Yeah, this won't happen again. Kind of expect something to spawn here. Alright, and these are the last of some materials that if you don't just bother to come do this, you're just not going to get these. But it's not just that lyrium. I think there's like an embryum or another deep mushroom or something. Silverite, maybe. Orcal, I don't know. But I believe there's a couple crafting materials to be had along this. Yep, there we go. No, that's a chest. Never mind. Yeah, it's almost always a mob. Yeah, I was about to say. Now these shadow warriors here, shadow assassins, whatever, are elves. I mean, we are up in Elven burial grounds up here. These are corrupted elves? Something? I don't know. Oh, there we go. Okay, Orcalcin. Alright, so that's another crafting material that we wouldn't have gotten had we not come to do this. Make sure we're not missing anything. Oh wow, okay. Unique item. Good deal. Alright, let's get out of here. Okay, I think we have a mob fight here. As usual, right? This isn't the real bad one. Believe it or not, this isn't the one that really counts. I'm not sure that grave robbing in a possessed burial ground is a wise idea. But, well, you know me. Never do the smart thing, right? What are we dealing with here? Shadow warriors again? Not sure. Sass, okay. Ooh! Hit him with a combo. There ain't no way I did that kind of damage unless that was a... Nice. Alright, good deal. Oops. Okay, well, if all of your friends couldn't do anything, I seriously doubt you guys are going to do much, but, whatever. There we have it. Okay, so good loot and stuff to be had coming up here. Belts and swords and things, but, you know, it's almost not even worth it.
Mythal, All-Mothers, protector of the people, watch over us, for the path we tread is perilous. Save us from the darkness, as you did before, and we will sing your name to the heavens. Sorry. I didn't mean to hold us, you just... It's never wise to ignore Mythal.
Who or what is Mythal?
She's the protector, the mother of the creators, the one who put the moon in the sky, wisest of all the gods. When Elganon defeated his father, the sun, the earth was plunged into darkness. Everything was about to perish. Mythal appeared then, calmed Elganon,
and restored the sun to the heavens. The people always look to her for help.
If she's temperamental, maybe I should join you.
It wouldn't hurt. They say if Mythel smiles on you, then you need fear nothing at all. But those who anger her, they're struck from the earth, as if they never lived at all.
I'm thinking if you take all the lore that's been told, from the stories that Leliana tells you around the campfire in Origins, to the lore that you read in some of the codexes that tell stories, not history per se, but stories, there's a hint of tiny bit of truth in each and every one of them. They all tell a picture if you have the eye for it. So now that may require being in the mind of the writers themselves to do so, to actually be able to recognize all the similarities and all the analogies and stuff, but still, I think it's there. It'd be some pretty hefty reading, though, putting all the lore from all the segments of the game together. Alright, so what do we have? I think we have 2 boss revenants and who knows what else. I don't remember what else they summoned to help them. I'd like to kind of get them apart because they can buff each other. They can heal each other. Look at the health bar on that damn thing. And he's got an armor rating like a dragon. Oh, speaking of dragons, okay. Let's not summon shades, let's actually summon dragons. And we can kind of see by this fight just why this is so annoying. It's got so many hit points. And like I said, they can buff each other. And I can't take a hit from these guys. I can't take a single hit. Needless to say, this was not my first try, I'm not even gonna lie. But this is the one where it actually at least worked. Like I say, the stun moves almost kill me, and then one shot from that sword does outright kill me. And so I hit really hard so I can draw hate. I gotta get him down low enough where I can assassinate him if possible. God! I wasn't kidding, man. Let me resurrect myself. Make Andrews do it right now. I'm mad. Kind of pissed. Wasn't kidding. Freaking Meryl with her spam spelling ass. And it's doing his thing, though. Those spells are staying on cooldown. Adelaine's gonna have a hard time holding all this hate. He's probably down right here. Dude. This was a nasty one. It's just nasty. This guy's weak to all this stuff. And look, he's just got this health bar. Yeah. Good riddance. My character just got destroyed. Now, there is a huge difference in being able to just take one hit. Stay on my feet long enough at least to get away and go heal or something, but I was getting one-shotted by anything other than the And the stun moves, which almost one-shotted me. So anyway, it's just really bad. Not good, not a good build idea at all. Well, I mean, it sounded good on paper, but the numbers aren't justifying the fact that I can't even stand up when the wind blows. Everything knocks my character out. Alright, so I'm assuming we've got a dragon up here somewhere. Lots of dragonlings. Yeah, we got a dragon. Had to assume one would be up here somewhere. Well, that wasn't so bad. Nothing seems so bad after those stupid Revenant twins. I was thinking, if that's all the crap that I have to face on the way up here, imagine how... Oh, there's another crafting material. Nice. Then imagine,
we're not welcome on this path.
Whatever's going to meet us up here at the actual top of the hill itself. Good time to save, probably, right? Yeah, I was expecting to get jumped by, I don't know, 16 Desire Demons or 7 High Dragons or something ridiculous like that. But, no. This will be the site of something later on in the game. Anyway, not finding anything. It was uneventful. Coming back down the hill, so I figured we'd go ahead and get out of here. But that's, I believe, all the scrolls themselves, and now the boss that unlocks is in his little hidden lair in Darktown. Anyway, so I came back here, and it was time to all the gear that I had on that I kind of spread out amongst my other party members. I decided to go ahead and get it back. Maybe some of these things would help my party members some, but I need that gear for myself. Rings and belts and amulets and things that actually give me something that I can work with. Anyway, so I won't suffer you through me re-equipping all that. But anyway, notice my health bar and my stamina bar are back up there in reasonable range. And my defenses are actually higher, and I don't think my offensive numbers are really going to be much lower. I mean, it may be a matter of a couple points here and there. I don't care about that. You know, if something can double my criticals, okay, yeah, I'm going to take that. But if it's only adding 10 or 20 points, but I'm getting one-shotted by everything every time the wind blows, no. That's not worth it. Anyway, so I decided get my attribute bonuses along with all the other side perks off my amulets and rings and stuff. And then we'll concentrate on defense with my armor. So I don't have to use so many, runes of valiance. Now I can concentrate on other things, spirit and fire resistance and all the good stuff. That'll actually keep me alive so that I can kill things. At least a little bit. I'm not trying to be a tank, I need to be able to take, like I say, at least a hit. Alright, and we'll go find this boss demon and some other trouble to get into on the next one. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. And for the rest of this Let's Play up to this point, click that image in the middle. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.